passes. That was Hilton Cowie in the Castrol Toyota. And up at Westbank, Charles Wilkin is under pressure from Marco Dos Santos and Janil de Villiers. Briggs is fourth and has the best seat in the house as they charge down the Caltex mine shaft. Sound good, building up to over 200 k's an hour with no backing off the throttle through the Haviland sweep. Then it's down the gearbox and hard on the brakes for the hairpin at the Vodacom Bowl. Briggs is trying to go around Dos Santos on the outside, and the AA kink is going to be interesting. Briggs and Dos Santos are leaning all over each other up the hill to the kink. And whoa, another one. And there goes another BMW wing mirror, but Dos Santos has used a bit of muscle to stay ahead of Briggs. Charles Wilkin still leads, but Janil de Villiers is piling on the pressure. Briggs and Dos Santos have already got to know each other over the Rothmans Audis of 5th and 6th, and Van der Linde and Vos have closed the gap on the pack ahead of them. What a start to this race. Race cam action now from the Dos Santos, Midas, Duckham's, Nissan Sentra, and up ahead Janil de Villiers has predictably gone into the lead. Dos Santos is now chasing after Charles Wilkin, and there is nothing Dos Santos would like more to get himself onto the podium. Up the hill now towards the long double left-hander at Nashua, and for many drivers this is the trickiest section of the AA Kyalami circuit. Then it's onto the old pit straight, building up to around 200 kilometers an hour with the awkwardly cambered Goodyear sweep right up ahead. Late afternoon sun is also a problem here, and this section of the circuit is part of the original Kyalami built more than 30 years ago. Then it's down the hill to the Goodyear corner, which used to be the slowest corner on the circuit. Just spreading a little bit now, but Goodyear is a second or third gear corner, and then it's along the short straight to the Rothmans S's. The cars are still on the original Kyalami through the S's, and then it's up the steep hill towards Westbank and onto the part of the circuit that was remodeled in 1987. Up at Westbank, Janil de Villiers has not managed to get away from Charles Wilkin or Marco Dos Santos, and Mike Briggs is right in there. Again, Briggs and Dos Santos are swapping a little more paint. There aren't any mirrors left on the BMW for Dos Santos to knock off, but the hairpin at the Vodacom Bowl could be the next flashpoint for this pair. They've been all over each other like a rash today. Hold your breath, here we go again. Briggs has the inside line through the Haviland sweep. It was on the outside at the hairpin. Charles Wilkin likes that wide outside line at the hairpin, and Briggs and Dos Santos are closed right up on the Minolta Toyota as they head for the AA kink. Race cam action now from the Briggs BMW, and Dos Santos has forced his way through on the inside. A big moment for Charles Wilkin at the AA kink. Dos Santos and Briggs both got wake-up calls, and taking evasive action has allowed both the Audis to sneak past Briggs. Well, the second Audi is also going past Dos Santos, and here comes Briggs as well. Moss and Aberdeen are second and third. Briggs has the edge on Dos Santos on the run to the Penzol curves, and Duncan Vos and Sean van der Linde have also gone past Wilkin. From first to second and down to eighth, it's turning into a very adventurous outing for Charles Wilkin. Race order is now de Villiers ahead of Moss, Aberdeen, Briggs and Dos Santos. Then come Vos, van der Linde and Wilkin, and we still have the compulsory tyre stop ahead of us. And at this pace, thank goodness there is one indeed. To give an inch or a centimetre in this one. Janil de Villiers is now looking for a record 11th win in a season and is disappearing into the distance. But behind him, we have a crackerjack race on our hands. Only 3 or 4 seconds separate Terry Moss in second place and Charles Wilkin in 8th. Wilkin will be kicking himself for that mistake at the AA kink. He went from 2nd to 8th in one very easy move, and winning back places in a field as competitive as this one is just no easy matter. The pit stops haven't started yet, but that could put a different complexion on matters. And Briggs and van der Linde in particular will be hoping the Sassel BMW team has ironed out the bugs that plagued them earlier in the race. The Audis in that livery really looking good, and the team will be pleased to be back up there. Garth Wabaski is having a very good run in the top 10. Hilton Cowie will be disappointed with his race so far as battle continues to rage behind race leader Janil de Villiers. Drivers have to make their pit stops between lap 4 and lap 8, and as the case in Formula 1 race, tactics are likely to determine when the teams pull in their drivers. Apart from Janil de Villiers, who is building up a big cushion, no one else has been able to make a telling break, and some teams might be considering calling in drivers earlier than scheduled. Into the Vodacom Bowl with race cam action from the Briggs Sassel BMW, and Chris Aberdeen got himself into a bit of a tangle there. He gets away from Briggs, and what that was for is anyone's guess. Briggs has been muscled out of the way a couple of times by Marco Dos Santos at the AA kink, and this time he had the inside line firmly covered. Thank you very much. Santos piling on the revs through the Gestetner left-hander. Janil de Villiers has a 4-second lead over Terry Moss, and problems for Chris Aberdeen in the second. Rothman's Audi, we believe. Aberdeen is coasting along on the outside of the pit straight with the whole field rushing past the Audi, and after his problem at the headband, something might just have broken on that car. That's a big blow for Aberdeen after going so well in the opening race. He was a strong third in his heat, and now Briggs is up to third, De Santos fourth, Voss fifth, and Van der Linde sixth. That's a very sad sight as Chris Aberdeen limps back and looks for somewhere to park the Rothmans Audi. How very sad for him. Lap 6, and Terry Moss rejoins the fray after his compulsory tyre stop. The BMW team is waiting for one of its drivers, with Briggs now second. Duncan Voss is third, and behind him he has Marco De Santos, Sean van der Linde and Charles Wilkin, with Terry Moss out of the top 8 after his pit stop. From a championship point of view, there is a fair bit of importance to the current race order. Duncan Voss and Sean van der Linde are fighting over second place behind de Villiers, and the Sasol BMW won't want to drop any more points to Voss. After the first race, van der Linde lost 7 points to Voss, with the gap stretching to 10 points at one stage. Only 2 more races remain in Cape Town, and van der Linde needs to keep his hopes alive here by getting ahead of Voss. So de Villiers going whole for leather under the lap record at the moment. Through Westbank corner goes race leader de Villiers. He has a comfortable cushion over Briggs, who has little breathing space where Voss is concerned. Voss has De Santos right on his tail, and van der Linde has to get past the Duckham's Midas Centre before he can start thinking of attacking Voss. Garth Wabashki is still going well, and he's into the top 10 again. Through the Haviland sweep, and there's still nothing to choose between Briggs, Voss, De Santos and van der Linde, with Charles Wilkin also part of that 5-car train. Podium places up for grabs for this group, and as we go to race cam action with Duncan Voss, who's third in the BP Nissan Primera, up the hill towards the AA Kink with De Santos and van der Linde line astern. Voss is through the AA Kink with no problem. Now, who is going to head for the pits this time round? De Santos and van der Linde are peeling off for their compulsory stops. Now, can the BMW crew avoid their first race traumas and get van der Linde back onto the track ahead of De Santos? Watch closely. Out on the circuit, Briggs is still behind Janil de Villiers. Duncan Voss has moved up into third place with Charles Wilkin a good fourth. It's been a great day for Charles Wilkin. He's even led this race for a lap or two, and that's the first time this season that he's been out in front of the field. Back to the pits now. And Marco De Santos is getting back into the race. Where is Sean van der Linde? There's Sean van der Linde. A good work this time from the BMW pits. They've got their man out onto the circuit ahead of De Santos. Very, very good work this time by BMW. They'll be pleased about that. Another pit stop. This time it's Duncan Voss in the BP Nissan Primera. Teammate Janil de Villiers has already made his pit stop, and he's back out in the lead. Voss was up to third, but this will drop him down a place or two, and Garth Wabashki is out of the race. He was going so well, and that's a great pity for the DAW team. Now lap 10 and more drama with another disappointing BMW pit stop, dropping Mike Briggs out of contention. Janil de Villiers is putting the finishing touches to a record 11th win in one season. Sean van der Linde has fought his way past Duncan Voss in the second BP Nissan Primera, and that keeps their championship fight wide open. Let's look at the rest of the results. Charles Wilkin is going to pick up his second fourth place of the day with Marco De Santos fifth, and once again the leading privateer in the Duckham's Midas Nissan Sentra. Hilton Kai picks up sixth place in the Castrol Toyota. Moss is eighth, and poor Mike Briggs just squeezed it into the top 10. Janil de Villiers and Duncan Voss must have permanent places booked on the Bankman podium. They are champagne experts by now, as we caught up with Marco De Santos.
Yes, it was lovely. I thought I could get a podium finish. Charles into the starters in the kink, and I lost 4 places within 2 seconds. And it was very hard to come back. I eventually got back to third, and I lost 2 places again in the pit stop. I had a slightly longer pit stop than the other guy.
And another trophy on the shelf for BP Nissan team manager Glenn Hall. He has the Drivers' Championship and the Manufacturers' Championship in the bag. Nissan have a huge lead over BMW in the Manufacturers' Championship, but the fight for second place will go all the way to the wire in Cape Town. In the Privateers' Championship, Marco De Santos won over Hein Latergan, and with a good performance in Cape Town, looks set to crown a good season for Duckham's Midas team.